What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Jump. I like brother Meek Mill. He's done a lot for the city of Philadelphia. He's done a lot in music, and also you see him taking some social actions in prison reform. Now, for those of you, this started a few years back when Meek Mill himself popped a wheelie, and he was already, having some troubles there, and he was wrongfully sentenced to a 4-year sentence, which launched the Free Meek movement. Okay, so now his program has worked to reform laws for those who are wrongfully convicted of crimes. And that happens. I think almost every day we see somebody who is overturned for a wrongful conviction. And my heart goes out to people who are wrongfully convicted are in jail for something that they didn't do. So it leads us to this story today. Brother Meek Mill did something very nice, which is he paid for bail for 20 Philadelphia women, 5 of them being released today. And he said that, or they were already released before Christmas, that, it was devastating for him to be away from his son when he was incarcerated. So he wanted to make sure that, these women and their families are not going through that. And again, in the case of somebody who is not done any wrong and that person is released, I get it. But out of these 20 women that are in jail, the question is, are they innocent, right? And I want to play this particular clip from this particular person who was in prison for 20 years. I want you to hear what this person has to say, and then we'll come back.
Most people assume because I spent nearly 2 decades in prison that I'm a prison abolitionist, but then when I talk to abolitionists, they get mad because I ask questions they can't answer. Because they'll say, we need to tear it all down today. And I'll say, well, what are you going to do with all the people? Because there are a lot of people in prison that could get out right now and should get out right now because they will not commit another crime. But there's some people who would get out and immediately commit another crime. There's some people who are further traumatized by their experience in the system. And until we have an answer for what to do with them and what to do with that very small minority who are just prone to violence and prone to aggressive behavior, well, we don't really have a solution. And shutting the prisons down would essentially just cause chaos. But I do agree that we need to move towards decarceration. I do agree that we need to move towards programming and transformation and rehabilitation. I do agree with all those things, but I think we have to have a framework in place. And if we say, hey, we want to move towards shutting down prisons, I'm all for it. I agree the vast majority don't need to be there, but there does need to be that period of incapacitation. There's that small portion of the population, and then there's a temporary quality about removing people who are an active threat from the community to which they are an active threat, and then helping them learn the skills they need to succeed.
So, you've heard what the person has to say. There are some people who will get out of jail and will never reoffend again, and there are some that will continue to reoffend. Okay? And that brings me to the subject of today. What is going to be the overall benefit of bailing those ladies out and giving them, I think he gave them a food voucher. I mean, it looks good, right? But then after that, what's next? They still got to go to court. They still might be found guilty, and they're still poor. And in society, guys, we have a real problem, especially in the black world and black America, where we want to put bandages on things to make it look good. And people fall back into the same things, the inequalities that they fall into. And that is, a lot of times we're dealing with people, especially women, and there's not just all black women that got released. Philadelphia is a predominantly black city, or some whites I saw in photos. But what we're dealing with is that, number one, we have women coming from unstable environments, single parent homes. Poor people typically have a lack of access to resources, no job training, things that help them get into the economy, specialized skills. See, if we really want to help people from not visiting the systems that they're there, we got to have long-term solutions and not just, we want to bail these people out because it looks good. That's the wrong with Black America as it is. We want to put bandages on stuff. Like, for example, in California. The state of California is now giving Black women or pregnant Black women $1,000 a month. In certain cases, right? What is that going to do? When $1,000 in San Francisco or in LA or in Sacramento, it's not going to last you anything. You're still relatively poor. You need much more money than $1,000 a month to survive in California. Everybody knows this. The poorer areas where people are, number one, you need entrepreneurship development so that people can solve their own problems. You need investment into those communities. You need training in those communities. You need skill trades in those communities. And it takes years to do that. Decades to do that. But to bail somebody out right away, it looks good. And you don't even know if those people are guilty. Now, if they committed a crime and they're guilty and they can't afford their bail, why shouldn't they be in jail during the holidays? I mean, is it because they're women? Because if you commit the crime, that's what jail is for those who commit crimes. It'd be different if all those women are presumed innocent, and it must be petty crimes. But some of those ladies are probably, they've been in the prison system or jail system before. And we're not helping the problem. All you're doing is making it easier for them to go back and do it again. And what society should be seeing, if we're going to really be honest about rehabilitating people, is like, look, we need to give resources to these people. We need this happening in the private sector, or the government needs to provide public spending for these people over here. And we need to develop these people so that these situations don't be what it is. Okay? It's true. That's what we need to do. That's what we need to do. Otherwise, society is going to continue unraveling like it is. I know people are saying, we have a prison population problem. We also have a criminal problem. We have that criminal problem because we don't have strong families as much. We don't have resources as much. We don't have reinvestment as much. And we're not creating the leaders we want to see in America. That's why we have criminality. We want to do prison reform without investing into areas. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. I'm out.